Hi everyone, welcome back once again. So this one is going to be the final video in our project and we're going to test our application and we're going to fix a couple of bugs. So this is where we left in the last video. This looks fine. So these are the imports, package import, and this is the internal import of all the component, and this is the context import, and here we have declared a couple of variables. We're going to create more function here, and here we have the notification. And this is the entire JSX we have written. Now come back here in the utils, and here we have to build one function. And the function we're going to build is it's going to short our address because our address is quite huge and we don't want to display the entire address, and that will ruin our entire structure of our front end. So let's build that particular functionality. First, we're going to say export const short an address. In that, we're going to receive the address and we're going to perform simple slice method. So take this template literal. In that, we're going to take this address and we'll say slice, and we want to slice 0 to 5. So the first five character of the address, and now we're going to give this dash, and now we have to slice it from the last. So we will say slice, and that will pass the address dot length, and we'll simply save it. And that's the only thing we have to do. This will give us the short address for our user or wherever we want to use it. So we are done with this. Now we have to come back here in the index, and here we have to build a couple of functionality. So the very first thing we have to do is we have to detach. So when the user will log in, we have to open up the home component, or when the user is not logged in or he has not created an account, we have to know that the user have not created an account, and we have to display the sign up component or the login component. Okay, got the point? Now we can start working on it. So let's come here, let's take an effect. So these are the notification we have, and we're going to take a use effect here. So come back here, and when the user will log in, that information we are storing in the local storage. So we have to get that information. If it exists, means the user have logged in, or if it's not exists, we have to simply store that information. So let's come here, let's take this use. It's going to be intent return, and now we'll take a variable called user back end id, and that's what we're going to get from the local storage get item, and this is the name we have given. So if I come back to the login or sign up component, you will find that this is the variable we have given, the key pair. So let's scroll down, and this is the name I have given, it's crypto backend. So copy that one, and that's what I'm going to receive here. So this is the name I have given, and simply replicate that. And now we have to get the token, simply copy this one, and that's what we have to simply replicate, get that information, and we have to change this to auth. So we have this two information. Now what I'm going to do is, so we have this two information about the user, let's replicate that, and we have to parse this particular information. So we'll take this json dot parse, let's wrap this in this bracket, and we have to change this will say active network, because the network is also stored in the system in the local storage. So we got all of this. Now we have to simply store all of this information in the state variable. So let's do that. First is going to be the set network, and we have to simply pass the network. So where it is, network, simply replace this one network, and that will work fine. Once we have the network object, now we have to simply set the network name. So that's already there. So we have this network dot name, network name. So in that way we'll have the network name, and that's what we can display in our header. Now once we have that, this two, now we can simply come back here and take this one, and let's set this particular information. So I can come back here. So we got all of this. Now we have to build a condition. Based on this authentication, we have to identify whether the user is logged in or not. So we'll say if auth is equal to null and user backend id equal to null, that means the user had not created an account, or maybe he's not logged in. So we have to simply open the sign up component. So we'll say sign up. So this particular component will open. Otherwise we have to open the home component. So we'll say set active component is going to be the home component. That's a pretty simple logic, and we can simply set the, let's say set auth backend id to the id. So we'll say user backend id, this is the id we have, and that's what we're going to simply set it. Simple, pretty. I hope you guys have got the idea that what exactly we are doing, and we have to give this empty string, empty array, and that's the only thing we have to do here. So what we are doing, first we are getting the information, then we are checking the condition whether we have the auth or backend id. Based on that, we are opening the login and the sign up. Sorry, home and sign up. So we are done with that. If I come back here, let's start the application. So we'll say npm run dev, and it's going to start the front end because I'm not starting the back end. So if I reload the page, and right now you will notice that if I do the inspect element, if I go to my local storage applications, here you will find all the information we have about the user. So this is the membership. And if I click on this crypto, it's already there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to simply replace this one. So like all of this thing we have. Now let's do one thing. Let's remove this crypto auth, remove that one. And if I reload the page, you can see now we have this sign up component which is displaying. So the logic we have built is working absolutely fine. So this one is looks good. If user have an account, they can create, or they can go with the login component and they can simply log into the application. So this looks fine. The logic we have built is working absolutely fine. And this is good. Close this one. And now we have to work on the buy membership function. So let's create that very quickly. Then we're going to simply test that out. So we'll say membership is going to be quite similar one. So we're going to do it very quickly. So we'll take a variable called buy membership. Let's call it ship with a capital. Inside that, we're going to receive a couple of data. So it's going to be an async function because we're going to make a call to our backend and we're going to do the transfer of the fund. So we're going to receive the membership type. So we'll say member type and we're going to say price. So these are the two things we're going to receive. Then we have to simply set the information. So we'll say there we have the variable call. This is what we have, notification simply, and display the notification. So we can say transaction is processing. This is the notification. Then we can come back here. We'll take this set membership type and we have to simply update the type which user have selected, whether it's a personal, premier or enterprise. Then we have to set the loader to true. These are the three things you have to do. Now this is the loader we have. Now we can come back here. Now we'll take a variable. We'll say provider, because the strategy I'm following here for taking the fund for the membership is that I will take only in Meti. It's up to you that what option you want to provide depending on the type of membership you want to offer. But I will go with the hardcore data that if anybody wants to use my service, they have to pay me Meti, not any other token or not any other. So I will go with the hardcore data. You can make it dynamic because you already have the data about the networks. But I will go with the Meti because I want to charge fixed amount. So we'll take this JSON, so let's simply remove this one. This is the JSON RPC provider, and in that I have to simply provide the string, which I will do it. So this is the provider. Now we can come back here. We have to take the wallet and we already have the information about the user. So this is the ether.wallet and we have that particular information in the network. So let's call it, this is the private key and we're going to pass the provider. So in that way, we'll have the wallet of the user and all the methods. So we can simply transfer the fund. So we can come back here. We'll take a variable called transaction, and in that we have to define the transaction is as a form of object. So first is going to be the to, that where you want to receive the fund. So I will go with the particular account in that I want that all the fund will be transferred and the membership will assign. So here I'm going to assign the account address and add the value, and this particular value is coming from the membership type. So let's convert that first before we pass. So come here, let's call this amount to send. We have ether.parse unit, in that we have to simply provide the price, convert into a string, and we have to call ether. So this is dot. So this is the converted price, and now we can simply assign into the value. So this is the dynamic price based on the membership user picking. Now once we have the transaction, now we have to make the transaction. So that's fairly easy. So we'll call it sign the transaction, and we're going to take a variable called sign transaction, and it's going to be a wait, and we call this wallet dot send transaction. In that we have to simply pass the transaction object, so it will transfer the fund. Now we have to wait for the transaction to be complete, or we can get the response. So we'll say receipt, we'll say receipt, we'll say await sign transaction dot wait. So we have to wait for the transaction to be completed. So once the transaction is completed, then we're going to make a call to our backend. So let me log out the receipt, and now we can come here. We'll take a try and catch, and we're going to make it to call to our backend to update the information about the user. So this is what I have. Let's come back here. let's check for a condition. So we'll say if we have receipt, means there is a receipt available, then only we have to call this particular function. So we'll say if receipt is available, then only we want to allow the user to simply update. So we'll take this const, we'll call it response await xcs, and in that we have to simply provide all the information. So first is going to be the method. So the method, I want to go with the patch method because we are updating the status. Then we have to provide the URL on the which we have to make the call. Then we have to provide the with credential because we want to store the cookies in the local storage in the browser. Then we have to simply update the data. So we have to pass the data, and this is the exact data we have to pass. So we have to pass member, let's say membership type is going to be the membership type. So we already have the data, so we can come take this one, membership type. Then we have to simply pass the user ID, and these are the two information we have received in the function. So if I show you, if I go to my backend into the controller, this is the function we have called by membership, and here you can see we are getting this user ID and we are getting this member like on the body. So these are the data will available and it will simply update. So that's what we are doing here. Looks fine. Now once we hit the request to our backend, and if we get success response, so we'll say request dot status code is going to be okay. If it's okay, means there is the updated data is successfully, then we'll receive, then we have to simply update the information in our local storage. We'll say local storage dot set item, and we have to take this user membership to the updated membership. So we'll have that information here, membership type. Then we have to simply notify success. We'll say welcome to pro membership, and that's the notification. Then we have to simply make it false the loader. So in that way the loader will close. Then we can reload the browser. We'll say window.location.reload. So that looks fine. So this is the only thing we have to do. Now we have to provide the URL which we have built. So these are look fine, and now we have to simply console logout if anything goes wrong, the entire error object, and I can simply throw the notification that the transaction failed. Looks good. So these are the things are looking pretty good. Now we have to get two things. We have to get the RPC endpoint, and we have to get the user address where we want to take the fund, and we have to provide the URL. So let's start with the URL first. So if I come back here, if I go to the sign up, this is the URL we have construct for sign up. So simply copy this one, and we have to simply paste here. And all we have to do is to change the router. So we can come here. Here we have built this particular router called by membership. Simply copy this one, and that's what we have to provide here. So this is the endpoint for our backend. Now we have to get the address where we want to receive the fund. So you can make it more dynamic, but I will go with the simpler approach. So I come here and let me get my address from here. So I'll go to my Mumbai because that's what I'm using. Let me log into my application, sorry, wallet. I can simply go here. I can pick the account number 1 where we want to receive the fund. So I'll say copy. Now I can come back here and I can simply provide the address. So this is where I want to receive all the fund which user will transfer. Looks good. Now I have to get the RPC URL. So I'm taking only on Mumbai, but it's totally up to you wherever you can take in the fund. So now I have to get the RPC URL, and I'm going to use a particular provider which allow me to get it. I'm not going to use Acmeli. So simply come and open a new tab and type ankr.com RPC. So simply type this particular website and you will come here. And I have already made a video on this where I have explained that why it's such a good platform if you want to build a multi-network application on the blockchain. So this one is really great. So I will click on this polygon and I will go with the test because I'm not deploying the contract on the mainnet. So I will do everything on the text. Simply copy that one. And that's, I have copied, that's what I'm going to provide here. So let's simply provide in the JSON RPC. And that's the only thing you have to do here in the buy function. So make sure you have provided all this information perfectly. Right now I have this much fund, but whenever someone will transfer by the membership, that fund will go up. So this looks fine. No more problem we have here. So these are the basic setups we have done. Now, if I come back to the application, if I reload the page, so let me do one thing. Let's come back and let's close this one, close this one. Now we can start the backend as well and we can test this out. So open up your backend, stop the application from running. Now we have to do the changes in the packages on file because we are running the front end. So we have to call nodemon server.js. So this is the one, copy, and that's what we can simply paste here. So save it. Now it will start our backend both and front end. So here we have started our application, everything's working fine. Now we can start working ahead. So simply reload the page. Right now you can see I don't have the authentication, so either have to create my account or I have to simply log in. So what I'm going to do, I'm delete all the information from here and I'll show you everything from scratch. So all the information gone from my local storage. Now I have to provide all the information. So let's close this one. Now I can reload the page. I can simply create a new account. So I'll say, let's say the blockchain coder, then I have to give the email, I have to give the password 123, password 123, and hit create account. And here I have successfully created my account. You can reload the page, you can check the information is stored in our local storage with all the data. So right now this is the token, this is the backend ID, and right now this particular user is not the member. So far things are good. So now what I'm going to do is, let's come back here, click on the network, and this token, top token, is also working. This is the home component. All of these are looking good. Now we have to update a lot of information. So first let's start with the network. So first we have to simply upload the image, then we're going to work on the profile. So let's start with profile first. Click on here and let's upload the profile information. So I'll get the image, so I'll get my image. So you have to wait, let the image deploy successfully and then start updating this information. So let's type this, call Daulat Hussain, give the username, let me get my address, copy, let's change the account. So this is what I have. Let's change the account because all the liquidity I have created on the test network, that's from my account number 6. So let's copy this particular account, copy there and paste here. I'm going to use the private key, this one. So let me get the private key, don't use it, I'm showing you just for tutorial sake, don't use that, and replace this one. And I'm going to simply provide the biography. So come here, type the blockchain coder, and this is the course I have launched. I hope you guys have followed that. Simply copy this particular test, check all the modules I have here, that will teach you everything about the blockchain development. So come back here, let me give this particular and drag it here. So you can see you can expand this one. So we have provided all the information. Now click on the save profile, and here we have save the profile. So simply come here, and if you reload the page, you can see the image is updated in our browser. We're going to change this behavior. You can simply reload the page as soon as the user save the profile information. You can do that. We have the trade token. Right now we haven't provided any token for trade. Right now we have this top 20 token, which we are getting all this from the Ethereum, Uniswap, and right now we don't have any network. We have to add the network. So we have added our profile. Now we can add the network. So this looks good. And we have all of this, and you can see all of this information are updated successfully. So let's do one thing. We already built this particular function which allowed to sort the address. Let's apply that function here, because this looks quite awkward and maybe this username is not working properly. If I come here, why it says update? So that's the small fix I have to do. Cut this one, go back here in the component and go back to the pricing. So there it is, not profile, not pricing, and here I have to do the update. So open up this. Okay, this one is name, this is fine, and this one is username. So open up this, and here it says username. So it's a, I think it's a capital one. So let me check, let me do the inspect element, and let's see what variable name I have called. Let's go here, let's do the inspect, come on, application, and here we have the profile. If I open that one, it's a capital username. So change this to capital, it will update the data. So save it, there it is, the username is reflecting. Now I want to sort the address both for the private key and the address of the user. So this looks good. Let's import that address we have built. This is the utility function we have built. So simply copy that one, and that's what we have to simply call here. So this is what we have here. We can call it paste and simply wrap this entire in this one and save it. And that's the only thing we have to do. Come back here and you can see the address is sort. If I go back to the profile, and there is some problem in our function, which I will see, you can see, but we are getting the first 5 character, but the other 6 character is not working. So let me have to check. So that's the fix we have to do in the short address. But let's apply this particular function here as well in the private key, and let's wrap this one, wrap this, and this looks fine. Now come back and let's see what went wrong into our utility functions. Come back here, and I can see the problem. Okay, my bad. We have assigned the first 5 characters, but we are not assigning the last 6 characters. I hope you guys have probably noticed that. So all you have to do is to simply say -6, and that will fix the issue. And you can see we got that one. You can keep as big as you want. It's totally up to you. So that's also working fine. Let's change the spelling to private key. This also look good. Reload the page. Come back here and we have all of this data. Looks absolutely wonderful. If I click here, you can see all of this data is already pre-filled in this, but user can still update that information. But the one thing you have to keep in mind that when they want to update the data, they have to update the entire data, like all the data they have to update, not individually. So that's the logic I have included to keep the things safe and secure and taken as a group form. And this is what you generally find when you will start working in the like real world trading bot. They want to take the data entirely as a set. So this is what we have. So let's find, now we have to add the network. So click here. First, let's upload the image. Just wait, let the deployment complete. And here we have the image. Now let's give the name. We'll say Polygon Mumbai. Let's give the RPC URL and we're going to use Acme. So click here, open acme.com and click on the sign in. It's going to open this, and I believe that you know how to create your account, so you can simply come and create your account and you can use their service. So here I'm into my dashboard, and right now you can see I have already created multiple projects. So if I open this view all app, so they are limited to 6 and I have already created 6, so I cannot create any more. But in your case, if you have a fresh account or if you have created 1 or 2, you can still create like 4 if you have created 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a network which is a Polygon. So all I will do, I'll simply come here, I'll pick the Polygon, and simply copy from here, simply copy, and that's what I have to provide here in the RPC. Then I have to get the API key, so simply copy this one, double click, and that's what you have to provide here in the API key. So we got the RPC, we got the API key. Now we have to give the wallet address, and this is the reason why I have included this particular functionality, because this is the multi-network trading bot. You can trade on Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, like any network, but make sure any network. So all you have to do is that whenever you pick any network, you have to get the information about the private key and the addresses relevant to that particular network, because this one is the safest way to deal in multiple networks. So you don't need to refill and memorize that what network you have used in this particular token, and you have to provide that. Okay, at the time of updating the network, you can simply update the information about the a specific network and the accounts in which you want to use it. So let's get the address copy, and that's what I can provide. Now I can simply go, I can get the private key, click here, show private key. Let me give my password, and I hope you guys can hear my niece. She is shouting, she wants to enter into the room. So I can hold this one, I can simply copy, and I can simply paste here. So we got all of this data, click on the save, and network is added successfully. If I come back on the home, looks fine. If I go to the networks, there it is. You can see the image is also updated, the username is also updated, and everything is updated fine. If you click, you can easily able to select, and this particular information is also updated in the header bar. You can see the active network. There it is, the active network. Looks fine. So we have the network, we have updated that. This is also good. Now I can come back to the home. Now let's add the network, sorry, the token which we want to trade. So that's what we're going to simply add. So let's come back here, close this one and close this one, close this one, close. Come back to the globe, come back here, and what we can do is come back here in the add token pair, and there we have to simply I noticed few things that in some of the component we have not provided the footer. So let me attach that first. So you can see this token trade doesn't have a footer. That's what I have to add, because the footer component is going to be in every single component. So this is the one which I want to get it. And let's assign that first, start with the trade token and simply provide it. If I say, if I come back, there is a footer, and that's the same thing we have to do in all the components. So let me do that very quickly. So we have here network, we don't have here in the add network. So let attach here. So I'll go all the way up, and I'm going to simply copy this portion, and let's get into this add network, add token pair, and paste here, copy, and that's what I can call right down in the bottom here. Just call the footer, paste, close, and There we have it. And let's go to the profile. We don't have. Let's do the same thing in the profile component. Copy. Let's go to the add network. Copy paste here. Copy. And let's open that one. Let's go all the way down and simply paste here. So done with that also. So this looks fine. Now trading is not there, pricing not there, profile not there. So these are the three places we have to add. Simply copy this one. Now I can go to the profile, simply post, copy, and that's what we can simply attach here. Got it? Now we can come back to the pricing, copy, and we can come back here, paste, simply copy that one, and let's attach here. Close that one, save it, simply copy this one, and now we can go back to the settings because we have to attach here as well. Copy, and now simply scroll all the way down and we have to attach here as well. So this looks good. Now this is good. So we have here in the profile, we have in the price, we have in the trading. No, we don't have in the trading. So let's attach in the trading as well. Copy, go to the trading, import. So let's import here. That's internal import, and we have to import the shorten address. Copy, and let's call that as well. Paste and save it. There you can see that in the trading component we have those addresses. So all of this looks pretty good. Reload the page, everything is pretty updated, and if I click here, I can come back to the pricing and I can simply take the service. I can simply close it, open it. So far all the structures looks fine. This is the search bar, and I can come back to the add network. This is the top, so looks good. Okay, that looks good to me, no problem. We have token pair, this is also good. Now let's take the membership. So let's check that membership functionality we have built. So we can come here, you can click anyone because we are charging the same amount for all the membership. So let's do one thing, save it and close all the open tab. I believe that you know how to close it. Simply type Control or Command W, it will going to close off all the window. So it looks good. Close that one. Now I can come back to the page and we have to test this particular functionality we have built. So simply copy this function, and that's what we have to send in the price component. So let's scroll all the way down, and here we have the price component. So in that we have to send two things. So let's send that as a prop. Let's paste that, and now we have to send the membership as well, that what type of membership user will selecting. That's also we have to set. So where it is, let's come here, we'll say set membership type, and that's also we have to send as a prop, set membership type, so we can update in the component. We have multiple way to component. We can update in into the function, or we can update into the component. So I come here, receive the functions. So let's come here, let's receive that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this membership type inside the function, the buy function we have built, and we are updating as well also. So let's come here, and I have this buy function. Let's try to attach. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this function in one place in the desktop. You can simply attach in the mobile, but I'll test on the desktop. And here we have that one. So let's attach that. In that we have to pass two things, the type and the price. So this will be the personal. So let's come back here, and here we are receiving the type and the price, and that's what we have to simply pass it. So come here, let's send the first thing is the type is going to be a personal, and the price. So the price I'm going to go with like this particular amount because I don't have, and it's going to happen in the test network. So I will go with this demo, this small amount with all the membership type. So simply copy this one, and I'm going to charge the same amount in all this. So simply copy and paste here. This one is going to be premium. So copy, and that's what we can simply update. Copy, and that's what we have to update in the last one. This one is going to be the enterprise. So copy this one, let's update that. So we got all of this. So our function is ready. I'm not attaching on the mobile, you can simply attach it. So come back here, looks fine. We're going to receive this data, then we're going to set this as a membership type and the notification and the loading, and then we're going to make the transaction, wait for the transaction. At that end we're going to simply call our backend and store the information in the backend. Pretty good. Now we can come back here, reload the page, and now we can ready to buy the membership. So if I click on this upgrade, or I can click on the pricing, click on this, it will take us here. Now you can see this address is quite big. So before we buy the membership, let's fix this three. Let's use the short address. So we can come back here in the trading, and here we have this address, and let's attach that. So simply scroll down, and this is the place we have all this one, and this is the live transaction component. So I think here we don't need to do anything. So simply close this one, come back here, open this one, and then we have this image, then we have the LIs, and these are the things we have to update. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply wrap this particular variable in the short address. So simply wrap it and close it from here, and that's the one thing you have to do. So if you save, this looks fine, no issue we have. Now we can go to the here, and you can see it's shortened and looks pretty good. Now let's do the same thing with the next two, the RPC URL and the private key. So let's provide this short address. Let's say short address, cut this one, and simply wrap that one. Save it, looks fine. Let's do this here as well. The last one is the RPC, and this looks good. Let's say short address, wrap this one, wrap it here, and fine. So this is what you have to do. Now it looks quite pleasant. So this looks good. Now I can come back here. You can see this is the address we have copy. She's crying. So within a minute I have to stop the recording and I have to get her. She wants to go out now. So let me do it very quickly. So looks fine. Now I can come back here in the upgrade, and I'm going with the polygon, so I can simply click whichever plan I want. You can see the transaction is processing, and I'm going to display the loader. So just wait, I'm going to create a loader which we have built, and the transaction is failed. That's quite weird. Let's do the inspect element and see what exactly went wrong. And here the transaction got failed. It say that 404. That's not good. And if I check here, you can see the transaction went through, but our backend still got failed. So somehow our backend is not working properly. And let me see. Okay, so finally I found the problem. I searched for 5 minutes and I find the issue. So if I save it, if I come back and take you to the router, here we have to make patch requests, not post requests, because we are updating the data, we are not posting the data. So we have to change the method to patch, because this is the method we have called here in the buy membership. You can see patch method. So this is the only change you have to do. So sometimes you have to do this kind of debugging. It took me 5 minutes, but in your case sometime it will take longer. So reload the page, just wait, it's going to open. Let me click one more time. Okay, finally it took, and here the application is working fine. Now come back here, go to the pricing, and let's click on that one more time. There is it. I'm going to display the loader. We're going to start working very soon. It's going to be a very few lines of code we have to add. And finally, the transaction is completed. You can see we have bought the membership. And here the status changed to start trading. If you look at the local storage, you can see the membership type is changed. This is the membership type is premium. That's what we have selected. And we have all of this information. Pretty amazing. Got it? If I close this one, this particular state is also changed, called start trading. If you click here, you can simply start trading. So we are done with the network, we are done with the memberships. Now we have to simply set the pair of the token. So that's the only thing we have to left. So reload the page. Still things looks pretty good. Now I'm going to simply come here, close this one. So make sure to do this change. Simply close this one, close the pricing, and close this one. And this looks pretty good. Now comes the star of the show, our trading, the tokens. So this is a good. Now I can come back to the network. Let's add one more network for the testing purpose. You can add as many as you want depending on the service where the network you want to do the trading. So let's add one more. This time I will go with the, let's say I can go with the Gorilla. Click here, and we can come here. Let's me call this Ethereum. And what is the name? Come here, copy this portion, And that's what I can simply assign here. And as you all know that I'm very bad with the spelling, so I don't want to take any chance. Let's simply copy and paste. And let's copy the URL, paste here. Now we have to give the wallet address. This is the account number 6 I'm using. Paste here, and I'm going to use the same and get the address. I know it feels like repetitive things, but you have to do for the very first time. But after that, everything will be smoothly. And here we have added the network, looks pretty good. And we have the two network. You can select whichever you want. Like the state is also changing. If you select this and if you come back to the trading, you can see here it's also updated. If you select this, come back to the trading, here it's also updated. So all the information is updating successfully. Now let's add the token. So I will stop the recording for a while and I was testing something like all the feature is working or not, so I can make recording further. So let's start with the fresh. Okay, so let's do the inspect element and let's quickly remove all of the data. I don't want to create any mess so you guys can miss something. So let me do everything from scratch for all of you guys. So here you can see we have successfully create, or you can simply log in. Let's come here and let me simply give me the email ID and the password. So simply log in, and here we have successfully logged into the application. It looks fine. Come back to the network. Right now we don't have any network. Let's upload that. So I'll click here, and here we have. And the reason why I'm doing this, because when I added the network for the very first time for the Polygon, by mistake I took the mainnet, and I hope you guys have noticed that. But we have to deal in the Polygon test network. So here we are. Now I'm going to simply take this Polygon. If I close this one, if I come back in the API key, you can see this is the Polygon Mumbai. So I have to take this portion. Let's take this from slash copy. Make sure you have to provide the right information, the RPC URL and the API key. So let's call it Polygon Mumbai, paste the RPC URL. Now I have to get the API key. So simply select it from here, paste here. Now I have to provide the address. So I'm going to go with the 6th one, and I'm going to simply paste here, copy. I'll simply click here, go to the account. Let me pass the information, hold it, select, copy, and I can simply paste your private key and I can click on save network. So here we have added this particular network. Now we have to update the user information. So let's quickly do that. So I'll click here. I'll go to this document. I will pick this particular image, the blockchain coder. I hope you guys have went to the website. And let's provide the private key because this is what I have copied last time. And let's give the name. So I'll say Daulat Hussain. I can give the username. Let's copy the address. This is the one I have taken, and I'm going to simply provide that, and let's give the biography called test and save the network. So we have saved the network. You can see this is the network. Select that. We can come to the token, and now we have to simply update the token pair which we want to trade, buy and sell. And this one is a very important part because here you have to provide the right details about the token, including the fee and the network. And always remember that you have to provide the native token of the blockchain. So in case of Polygon Mumbai, I'm using Wrap Mati, which is the native currency of the Polygon. And I'm using that particular one for creating a liquidity. So if I come back here in the Uniswap, you can see this is the liquidity I have created on this particular platform between Mati to TBC token, which is my token. And always check the liquidity before you set for trading or doing any automated trade. You have to check that it is available, the amount of liquidity which you need for performing the trade. So always check the range, always check the price, and on the base of that you have to provide this information to your trading bot. So it has to be in higher amount of liquidity. This one is very important. Come back here in the pool and you can see that I have created a bunch of liquidity. What I did, I simply remove and close all of this liquidity because it was creating a lot of mess, and now I was running out of fund. So that's why I closed all those liquidity and I got a very good amount of funds which I can show you by doing this trade. So this is the one liquidity I have closed all this liquidity. This is the one which I'm going to use. It has a good amount of liquidity, and again I'm telling you that you have to check the liquidity which you are picking. It has a fee ratio of 3%, 0.3%, and this looks good. It has nice amount which I can use to do the trade. Now we have to provide the relevant information. So in that you can see it's moving the address of the two token. You can simply get it from here, but I already know the address, so I can simply get it from my Let's get the address. So come back here in the polygon. So here I have done the testings and I've done the transaction and I have the address of the two token. So this one is the TBC token, and I can click and I can get the address of the token, the TBC. And here we have the wrap Matty, which is the native token of the Polygon Mumbai. So I'm going to simply copy the address. Again, you can simply pause it and you can type it, or I can simply provide you in the starter file. So from there you can easily get it, or I can also link in the description. So from there you can get this particular native token address. You can simply search no matter which network you are using. If you're going with Golila, Sofali, like Arbitrum, you have to find out the address of their native token on the particular blockchains, and that's what you have to provide. So this is the native for the Polygon Mumbai wrap Matty, and that's what I'm going to use. So this is the name and this is the address. Simply copy that one. So let's provide that information first. So I'll say Matty, give the address. Now we have to give the second token, so that's the TBC, and I have to get the address. So come back here, I'll give here, and here I have the token. Simply paste here and copy that one and paste here. Looks good. We have the two token. First we have the native token, we have the TBC. Looks fine. Now I have to decide the fee. So you can see the fee is 3%, and let's add that. So 30,000. Then we have to assign the network name. So for giving you the idea, and the reason why I have added this particular information, because we'll have a multiple network. So you have to know that which liquidity you have created on which network. So let's give that Polygon Mumbai. And here you have to provide the amount which you want to spend for buying the token. So let's set that to 0.001, very less, because I don't have much and I don't want to spend much. If I open that, you can see this much fund I have. And here you have to set the target amount. So it's depend that what strategy you want to build. I'll go with the simple strategy, but you can go with the higher amount, you can go with the lower amount. So I can go with the, like, say 1. And here you can give a short description that what is the strategy you want to add. So later you can simply review that. Click on the save token, and there it is. So we have successfully saved the token. This is the one. This is the network, Matty, TBC, and the price. You can display more data. So let me select this particular token and come back to the trading. So here we have selected the network and the trading. Looks fine. Looks good. Now we can do the trade. So if I come back here in the code, and looks good to me, no problem. So before we do the trade, let's come here. This is good, and let's come here in the trading and let's do a couple of changes. So this is fine. This is what I have. Simply I can simply comment this because I want to show you something. So let's bring it back. Let's do one thing and let's do the changes here. So when I was testing, I did a couple of changes right up here. So you can see we are calling this 3 function on the on click, like trading, set account, set active, true, and notification. Make sure to do this. Okay, I will stop the recording, and at that time I was testing, so at that time I put it. So simply replicate that and simply comment this very first one. We're going to simply call this particular one function trading. We're not going to use the trade frequency. We'll do that, but just simply call this. Save it. Now come back to the context and let's do the changes here. Let's check the pricing, that whether we are getting the actual information or not, because we haven't tested that. So far we have built all the logic. So let's select all of this and let's comment that for a time being. Comment this all. So when we'll call this particular function, is going to give us the market price of the token. So the amount. So make sure to provide all of this information. This private, we have remove this one. So we have the provider, we have the wallet, amount, target price, target amount, sell amount, all of this information we have. And here we have the quoted exact input single. We are using this, and here we are simply console log out the current exchange rate and what is the target amount we have set. Save it. Now let's test this out. So come back here. Let's reload the page and let's click on here. Let me show you this inspect element. Click here, and now we can click on this trade. If I click, you can see here we got this. So we got the target exchange rate, and we got the, current exchange rate and the target exchange rate. So in this, when we execute the function, is going to call the buying function we have set, because the target amount we have is higher than the current rate, which is low. So that's why it's going to call the buy function. So it's working fine. We are getting the information about the two token on the Polygon, the liquidity is available, and that's working fine. Now let's bring all of this back. Let's bring all of this back and let's perform the trade. So what I want to do is let's come back here and let's let's do one thing. We are in the let's work on the loader because we have to display the loader as well. So click on this loader, and this is what I have done. This is what I have added when I stop the recording. So make sure to simply pause the video and simply type these few lines of code. So we'll take a div, simply take a div. It will have a wrapper and it will have a 3 div with a class called new circle and 3 div with a class called new shadow. So this is the only thing, and the CSS is already provided to all of you guys. You can see we are displaying the loader. So let's do this. Okay, take this wrapper, 3 new circle div, 3 new shadow div, and the CSS we have already written. You can see this is the CSS which I have already explained you at the very start when we done the setup. So this is the loader, and now before we do that, let's come here and let's call this particular loader. Whenever the loader, the transaction is happening, we have to simply call it. So simply scroll all the way down and we can simply call the loader here. So we'll say that we'll take a dynamic block, we'll say loader. If loader is true, then we can display our loader component. So let's make it incident, we'll call it div. Let's replace that, we'll call it div, close the div, and it will have a class. So this is the class which we have already taken, new loader. Inside that we can display. So if I come back to the global CSS, this is the class we have built. So this particular class, what it does, it will keep the entire loader into the center of our page. Simply copy that one and check the spelling, it looks good. Inside that we're going to simply call the loader component. So that's pretty simple. Simply come here, call the loader component and close that. And that's the only thing you have to do to display the loader. That's the only thing we have to do. So far things are looking good. Here we are turning it true, and we can also provide it here as well. Here we are turning the false. Simply copy this one and call it here as well, because if the transactions get failed, we have to simply turn off the loader. So looks good. So far things are good. Now we can come here, reload the page, and now let's test this out. So this is the one which we are doing on the trade. You can see it has all the range. Again, I'm telling you that before you use this, again I'm telling you that you have to check the liquidity, and based on that you have to set the strategy which you want to perform the trade, including the pricing, including the fee. That's all you have to keep in mind when you select any particular token to do the trade. Let's come here. Now we can do this. So come back to the trading and let's perform that. So if I click on the trading, you can see we have this loader, and here we got this exchange. Now we are calling this buy token function. Just wait, the transaction is happening, and here we done the transaction. Means our loader is working fine. So we have successfully done the transaction, and you can see this is the error we got. In that we can have this all information. You can store as many information you have, because when the transaction will complete, it will give you a bunch of data like an object. You can simply get all of those data and you can display. But I'm going with this 3 data: the current rate, the target rate, and the hash. So if you take this particular hash, just click here and you can go back to the poly scan. Here you can simply verify the transaction. So click on hit, paste the transaction hash here, and click on hit search. You can see the transaction went through. This is the amount we have set in the volume. This is the TBC token we have bought, and we have this spend of wrapmati 0.001. So the transaction worked absolutely fine in the buy conditioning. Good. If I come back here, so that's for the buying. But what if I want to check the sell function, because the sell is not going to reach because our price is constant and the price is going to be low. So what I will do is I will have to overpass this particular condition. So instead of calling and checking the balance, and then we have to build the condition for calling the sell functionality, let's call the sell functionality straight away and sells a couple of tokens. So let's comment this one, and let's open this one and comment this one as well. But make sure when you do the transaction in the real world, on the real network, you have to add this particular condition. Never ever try to do the trade straight away in the function. Always check the target amount you want to achieve, and then you want to sell it. So for the time being, for the testing purpose, I'm going to simply comment it, but in the real world, we always have to do the check. So now we're going to simply call the sell token. So reload it, come back to the trading, and here we have, simply click on this start. Here the transaction is displaying. You can see we already have the token approved because I done couple of approve when I was testing. But if the token is not approved, it first is going to approve the token, then it's going to do the sell. So but we already have enough approve which we can use for selling the token, and you can see we have successfully sell the token. If I copy, if you go back here, you can able to verify the transaction. So come back here, paste and hit enter, and here we have simply sell this wrap to TBC. working absolutely fine. I hope you guys have understood. So the sell function will work. First, it will check for the approve, that how many tokens are approved. If it's approved enough for selling the amount we have said, then it will sell straight away because it already have enough approval. But if it has left approval, then first it will approve the token, then it's going to sell the token. So that's the simple logic, and I hope you guys have followed that. So we have this true transaction, which looks fine. If you come here, the balance went down. You can see the balance went down. This is the money we have spent. Pretty good. You can see all this transaction showing this 00 because we are doing without the involvement of the MetaMask. So it's not keeping the track of that. But we are spending it. But we are spending the fund. Now this looks fine. Now let's test that how we can automate this. So this is the simple call function, but we have already built the function to automate by using the trade frequency time. So all of things are looking good. Now let's bring this back. So what I'm going to do is let's bring this back, and now we're going to simply use based on the time. So save it, come all the way up, and here we have this trade frequency. I would always encourage you that you have to do this trade. At least give half an hour to 45 minutes interval. Never ever try to do trade every single 5 minute or every single minute, because as you know that the transaction will take time on the blockchain to complete. And if you do every 30 minutes, every 40 minutes, that's not a good idea. So it's always important that you have to do your trade and set the interval time of at least 45 minutes to 1 hour. But I'm going with the 1 hour. It's totally up to you that what strategy you want to build and what kind of trade you want to do. So if I show you that how it's going to do like very quickly, so let me comment this particular one, and let me set this to 3 seconds. Like every 3 seconds I'm going to simply call this particular function and try to do the automate trading. So that's the only thing. You can simply change this, but I'll keep it like it is. That's fine. Now it's going to make the transaction. So this is good. This time it's going to call the buy function because I don't want to simply call it. So simply comment this because I don't have enough fund. And if I want to do the transaction, it's going to spend my real amount from the test. So I don't have much. So let's test that. That's going to happen. Okay. And here we can simply set the dummy text because the buy and sell is happening. I just want to show you that how it's getting updated in the component, the data. So this is the fix. Save it. Looks good. No problem we have. And here we are also done. Looks good. And we have set this to 3 seconds. This function is going to be called every 3 seconds. 3 seconds. And let's check that whether the components, the data is rendering in the component or not. Come here and close this one, and you can see here we have the start trade. So the moment I click started, it will change the state. You can see the transaction completed, and it's going to complete the transaction. Okay, the transaction is completed, but the data is not reflecting. Something's wrong. And I know what happened. Actually, I comment something not to be comment because a variable need to be called, and here you can see that this particular information is getting that transaction array is not defined. So simply stop this application, and now we can simply do the changes in our context file to bring back this transaction array. So refresh this, come back here, go back to the transaction, sorry, local storage. In that you can able to find that right now we have this true transaction which we have done, which is stored here. You can able to see that. Now come back here in the context, and what I will do is I'll try to bring this portion. So let's bring this portion to life because this is what we need. Save it, and we have to only comment because this particular data trading count is important, which we're going to allow into our render component, which is going to see that if there is a change in the trading count variable, is going to render, and that's what we are using. So we have to need this, and we only have to commit these two functions because I don't want to do unnecessary trade and exhaust my font. So reload the page. Okay, close this one and reload the page. Let's bring this back. Now we can go to the trading, and now you will see the moment I'll click, it's going to do all the trade and display. Fine. This is a good final check, and I want to check the trading time because it's happening very quickly. So let's change this to 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds I want to call this function. Click on this. Here you can see it's getting updated. Wait for 5 seconds, and here it's completed. As you can see, it's getting updated. So what is happening is checking the balance. If it meets the criteria, it's going to make the trade, and it's going to keep repeating this process. So all you have to do is to start your bot and set back. It's going to check the price and it's going to make the trade on behalf of you. So it looks good. You can simply stop your bot and now it's not going to make the trade. So things are looking pretty fine, but I will go with the 1 hour. I will not suggest you to check and do the throw every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. That's not a good idea. That's going to create a lot of request on your endpoint. The RPC endpoint which you have taken from the Acme, which is a free account, is getting exhausted and they will demand you to upgrade your account, which is not a good idea. So looks good. You can see everything is working absolutely fine. Things are looks absolutely incredible. We have checked all the functionality for buying, selling, and the trade frequency, all of things. I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to bring this back as well. And looks good. Make sure to build the strategy, the kind of strategy you want to build. It's all up here. But make sure to do the exact way, the way I have done the conversion, because this is the standard of conversion we follow in the industry whenever we want to build automatic trade and whenever we want to do the trade on the tokens. So this is the standard method. You can simply play around with the value, but this is the standard method you have to follow. Looks good. Pretty fine. Come back here, reload the page. If I come back to the liquidity, you can see it's fine. We got a couple of fund here. And the moment I did the trade, you can see it's went out of range. So my fund got exhausted and we are out of range in that particular liquidity. But still we can make the trade. So you can see this is what we have done the trade. And if you guys want to know that how you can set a perfect liquidity for your token in the marketplace for our future growth and getting real money exactly, then that's a totally different topic. If you want me to make a tutorial or course on that how you can set the actual pricing, then I'll definitely create one. So come back here and if we click on this buy, you can see it's working fine. Although we have already taken the membership, but it's a simple transfer. You can simply build a condition where you can prevent the user from buying twice. And looks good. We have changed our membership to different enterprise. Now I can come back here. Let's come here. This is the token we have. And if I click on the logout, okay, we have a problem in the logout button. It's not working. So let's do the inspect element. Go to this applications and here you can see here we have this set token membership. We have the live transaction and here we have this crypto auth. Okay, there is a spelling mistake. It's called crypto auth. So if I come back here, if I go to my sidebar, there it is. Here we have called crypto CRY, but there we have a crypto CRU we have. So simply replicate this, comment this one, and let's put the wrong spelling and save it. And if I come here, reload the page, and the moment I will click on logout, it's going to remove this information from the local storage, and now we are logged out. Now what I'm going to do is before I logged in, I have to change the spelling. Okay, so I'm not going with the wrong spelling. So come here and let's change in all the places. So simply bring it back, remove this one, copy this one and change in the login and the sign up, because there we are updating this auth. So come here and change this here, the wrong spelling to crypto. Do the same thing in the login. Here we have to do the changes. Looks good. Now let's change this to Daulat. Type Daulat Hussain, give the password, click login, and here we are. Okay, we have to do changes in one more place because we are checking for the token as well. So here we have the right spelling. Simply copy this one, come back here into the index page, the home page, and here we have to do the changes in the user effect. So there it is. Change this, click here, paste here, and save it. Now reload the page. It's going to open the home page. We have successfully logged in. There it is. Hope you guys can appreciate that how things are coming together. Select the network. There it is. Reload the page. It's selected. Now you can click. You can check the trade. Now you can click and it's going to call the buy function because it's going to be the less than the target price, and just wait. And this time our bot will run after every 1 hour. So finally we have made the problem. I will stop the bot and you can simply verify that. If I see, you can see the fund went down and we have bought the token. Pretty good. So that looks incredible. Come to the profile and check everything's working fine. No more problem we have. You can simply collapse, expand, collapse. Let's do the inspect element for the responsiveness. This is beautiful. Open that one, close that one, close this one, open, close, and that looks good. You can go to the different components, select the network, You can see, you can close, select, and there it is. Everything's working fine. You can see it's 100% amazing project. And when you will include this kind of project, it's going to teach you a lot of things that how exactly application work. Because building a simple application is easy, but when you build this kind of application tools which facilitate the user, that's a real learning you get. So that looks good. We have done with all the feature and functionality, the entire backend, the entire logic of our trade, the entire component section. We have provided multiple functionality and everything is good. I hope you guys have enjoyed this project. If you still have any question, any doubt, or if you have encountered, you can simply give your comment in the description. I'll try to answer, or you can contact in the email, official email, the blockchaincoders.gmail.com, and there you can ask the question. I'll try to help you in that. So come back here in the blockchain coder, and I want you to come, and here you will find all the resources regarding to all the project we have built. So go to the this particular course which I have launched. Again, this will teach you every single thing which you have to know as a blockchain developer: front end, back end, Tailwind CSS, and the smart contract and complete salty programming language. So I want you to come and watch and check all of this, because these are the important things which you have to know to master that. And if you want to get the final source code, you will give your valuable contribution to our team to bring out this kind of tutorial. So click here, go to the recents. You can simply filter the project, or you can simply type the name of the project. So I can type something like, let's say, trade. So this is the one we have. Let's change this to bot, and this is the project which we have built. So you can simply get the complete code. Click here. So when you will take your complete code, you will give your valuable contribution to our team, so we can bring more tutorials, and we'll do that. And you can get the startup file, and you can start coding along the way, and which you guys have done with me. So finally I have downloaded the complete source code. So this is the zip file I have got, and I have simply unzipped this particular folder. In that you will have this two folder. You will have the starter file, you will have the complete file. On this starter file we're going to see together when we start working, but let me take you through this. So I'm going to start with this crypto bot final code, which I will show you all the necessary step which you have to do once you will download the entire source code. So let me open this particular folder in my VS Code. So this is our final code of the project. So the very first folder we have is the API. In that we have this three folder: controller, model, and router. We are performing all the backend operations right up here. If we talk about the component, in that we have these three components including the JS file. So this is the body in which we have the main component like add network, pair, home, network, price, profile, setting, exchange, trade, trading. We have the global component. All of this global component we have. If you want to do the modification, you can do it very easily as per your branding. And here we are simply importing all of this component, so we can export and we can use it in our entire application. So this is our component section. Then we have the context. In that we have the constant, which we're going to talk about it. So these are the important things which we need to make the transaction possible. If we talk about the contents, here we have all the function we have built together, which we're going to build together for performing all the jobs. So this is what we have for the context. We have a lot of things. If we talk about the pages, this is what you will get. So we have the app where we have done the configuration. We have the index where we have built all the logic. It's a single build application. We don't have multiple page. Close this one. Now we have the public. Inside the public you will have all the assets including the images and the JavaScripts, which you will get here. Then we have the global style where we have done the configuration of the styling. You can simply do the changes. And here we have the utils folder. In that we have some utility function which we are using. Then we have this app.js. So this is the backend portion of our application. And here we have the config file. So here you have to provide a couple of information. You can simply provide and change this, because this is the string we're going to use for the authentication and creating the JWT token. And here we have the spiraling. So I would say that you can go with the same, because this is the industry standard. Make sure whenever you change this string, you have to provide the exact length. Okay, more than 32 characters you have to provide. In that way we can provide better and higher security to our users. Here you have to provide the database URL and the password, because we are providing user authentication and we are storing the information of the user. Only login credential we are storing, and the rest of the data is storing in the local system. Okay, that's the thing you have to keep in mind. So here you have to provide the MongoDB database string and the password, which I will tell you how to get it. And this is fine, don't need to do any changes. And in packages and file, no matter when you are building this project, you have to use the exact version. If you use any other version, it's not going to work. If you take the example of Ether.js, right now we have 3 different versions. So if you're going to use the old version of Ether.js, it's not going to work because the modification I have done in the code based on this particular version. So make sure to use the exact version. If we talk about the servers file, so this is the entire server file where we are connecting. This looks pretty fine. Okay, this looks pretty fine. Looks good. No issue we have so far in the code. So now we have to do one thing. We have to simply install the packages. So open up your terminal. We are in the root directory. Type npm I and it will install the packages, all the packages which you can see. If you get any error, definitely you will not get, but in case if you get error, try to install all the packages one by one. Simply copy the entire package.json file and simply paste here and simply install one by one. So you can do this. Close this one. So we have installed all the packages. Now we have to simply clear my terminal. Now you have to connect your MongoDB database with the application. So come back here in the MongoDB, make sure to create your account. I have already done that and I have created a couple of projects. So in your case, you will have a fresh account. You can click a new project and you can create a project. Make sure to create a free one for testing. After that, if you think that you need to take the upgrade one, you can create that. But I have already created this one, so I'm not going to create. So I'm going to use this particular one. So click on this movie. You will not have the movie, I will have. So I'll come back here in the database. And here I have to simply build the connection. So here we have multiple tab, browser, view and connect. So click on this connect and it gives you multiple options to connect your database. So I will go with the MongoDB VS Code. So click on that and all you have to do is to simply copy and paste the URL. So when you will create an account, is going to generate the username and password. So make sure to save that username and password when you will create a new cluster, and that's what you have to provide. So I'm going to simply copy this one and I'm going to come back in my VS Code and I'm going to simply paste. So that's what I have to update here. So I have already done that. So this is my database. Make sure to provide the, and here you have the username and here we have the password. So make it capital and here I've taken a separate variable as a password because here we are simply replacing that. So make sure to do that exactly. Make sure to do the exactly. So close this one and now we are ready to start our application. So all you have to do is to simply type npm run dev and hit enter. And this is going to start your application on localhost 3000. Now you can come back to the browser. You can go back to the open a new tab and click on this localhost 3000 and it's going to open this login page. So you have to create your account. Or if you have your account, you can simply log into the application. So what I will do, I already have an account, so I'm going to simply log it. I'll take hossein@gmail.com and I have this password. So click on this login and I'm back into my application. So I have successfully logged into the application and I will say okay because I have changed my account. So that's what it's saying. If you can open the inspect element, you can able to find the information about the user authentication. So if I go to the application and here we have the, currently this user is not memberships. This is the authentication token and backend token. So we are logged into the application and this is the exact interface you will get. Right now we don't have any data. It's absolutely empty. Now you can simply add the data one by one. So if you want to add a network, I explain you that how you can add. So before I upgrade my account and take the memberships, I have to add the network which I'm going to use to purchase the membership. So by default, I'll go with the Polygon. So I'll come back here in the network, click here and I have to select this Polygon. I'll say Polygon Mumbai. Then I have to take the RPC URL. I can go back here, go back to the database and I can simply pick the RPC URL. So I'll go with this one, API key. Click on that and I have to get the copy this entire string and that's what I can paste here. So this is my RPC URL. Let me get the API key, copy. That's the API key. Let me get the wallet address which I want to use it. You guys have seen this, okay? I'm just telling you that everything is working fine. Now I'm going to simply copy the address and I'm going to paste. I'm going to copy the private key and let's do that. And here we have that one. Copy that one. And that's what I can paste here and click on this save network. And it's going to make the transaction. If you come back here in the network, you can see this is the network I have added. And we don't have the image because we have not created an account. So let's do one thing. Let's create the profile. Let's click here. Let's add a profile. So click on this. Let's take the image. Let's give the name. I'll say DAU Daulat HUSSN Hussein. Let's give the username Daulat. Let's give the wallet address. Let's give the private key, and hit enter, hold, copy that, paste here, and let's get some dummy text for the message. So I'll come back here and copy here, and now you can simply click on the save profile, and it's going to add the network. So if you come back here in the profile, you will find all the details. And now I can simply click on this buy enterprise, and it will make the transaction. So just wait, the transaction will complete soon, and it's taking a little bit time. And finally the transaction is completed. If you reload the page, here we say started. If you come back to the trading, and here you will have this current trading. So right now we don't have any network to perform the swap, so that's why you can see it's not there. Now what I will do is I will come back here in the token, add token, and I have to add the token the way we have done. So let me do one thing. Let me come back here in the poly, and here we have the two addresses. So this one is the Matty. So I'll simply click here, and I'm going to copy the Matty address. I have to create a pair. So let's come back here. Let's create a Matty. Let's get the address. Let's call second token. Let's go back here, and this is the second token we have, and we already have a liquidity in this. So I'll come back here, and I'll say gym address. The liquidity fee is 3,000. Let's give call network, so Mumbai, and the buying amount is going to be like 0.001. I'll say trade target, and the target amount is going to be 35, and I can give a message sort and click on the save. And here we have saved the token. You can come and this is the network. Come back to this, select the token, and if you come back to the trading, and you can able to perform the trading. So obviously I don't have much fun to perform the swap. So what I'm going to do is let's perform the swap. I can click on this create trading, and it's going to make a trading. So just wait, and the trading will complete, and it's taking a little bit time. Soon it's going to complete the trading and buy the trade for us. And here the trading is completed, and I want to stop the bot. I don't want to keep continuing because I don't have fun. So let's stop the bot, and here we have done the transaction. You can simply copy the hash, and you can simply paste, go to that polygon, and you can check that you have successfully bought the token, because we have taken this gym, and we have this. So it looks pretty fine. So this one is working great. So this is how we can use it. And if you come back to the source code, this is the function we have called. So now I don't want to call the function because I don't have much fun. So here we have the buy and sell function. So this is the one for sell, and this is the one for buy. So I want to simply close this two function. I don't want to call it, otherwise my fun will be exhausted. So I'll go with the default hash, something random hash. Now if I come back here, and if I show you, if I reload the page, it's fine. Now it says that previous definition frequency. So we have multiple time. I think I have read that. Okay, so let's come in this one, and this looks fine. Reload the page, and this is what we have. Now let me show you that how the frequency would look like. So this is what we have. Come back here in the console, and now you will notice one thing. So come back to the trading. Right now we have done one, and you can see they have this one data. Now the moment I will click on this create, it's going to continue the function over and over again. Every 1 minute this function will call, and it will check the fund. If it's there, then it's going to call the sell or buy function, or it's going to just simply wait for next 1 minute. So we have given 1 minute time. You can see we got the one transaction. So with that, we have finally completed this project. If you guys have any question, any doubt, you can shoot me in an email or in the comment. I'll try to help you in that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If that's so, share this project with your friends, those who are interested in blockchain development. Just share and talk about this channel, because I do really need your help to grow this channel. as a Web3 developer. So thanks to all of you guys, those who watch my video, follow the project. I would love to share my experience, love to share my knowledge. The more I talk, the more I share, the more I build project, I learn a lot. So thanks for everything, those who follow the project. And if you guys have still any question, any doubt, or any idea about the project, do let me know. I'll try to help you in that and build a project. With that, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.